All right, well, welcome everyone. It is our Sunday night team huddle, and it is February 18th, 2018. And it's just, I'm glad to be on, excited to kind of chat with you guys tonight, because really we are at mid-month already of February, which just seems crazy, like crazy, that we are already this far into the month. And I have some things that I wanted to share with you guys. We are going to talk about the book. So if you have your copy of Get Over Your Damn Self, you can kind of pull that out. We're going to get to that in a minute, but there are some things that I want to just kind of touch on with it being mid-month, because there are just some different checkpoints that you want to kind of be hitting on as you're building your business. And one of the things is with this business is that we have to inspect certain things, meaning we have to kind of have check marks, we have to have checkpoints. And anytime you all have ever had a career or currently in your career, there's just different markers that you're going to be evaluating, and that's no different with this business. Okay, so it's really important not to over kind of evaluate necessarily like the how of this business, but you do want to start to be a little bit reflective in your business. And one thing that I like to do at the end of every week, whether you count your week like Sunday to Saturday or Monday to Sunday, is just kind of check in and see like, okay, how many faces have I gotten in front of? That's, one thing that's really measurable, because what we measure is what grows. What we focus on expands. So there is a document. I'm trying to find mine. I know I have it posted on the team page. I can't find it here. But it's just our 30 faces tracker. And it's just a great thing to print off. I'm a paper lady. You can do it in your phone if you want. But what I like for the paper purpose is that it just has every month. And, I have 4 or 12 sheets from 2017, and I can go back and I can look at every month who were the 30 or 30 plus or less than 30 faces that I got in front of every single month. And many times I can put a result of what happened, whether it turned into a PC, whether it was, and maybe sometimes, I wouldn't really move people from one month to the next because they weren't necessarily new, but it gave me that place to kind of track them. So those are some of the things. That's one thing that you want to be looking at. So for February so far, you want to go look and see how many people have I told the Arbonne story to in its entirety, products and business, this month. If you're at 6, you got to crank it up a little bit. If you're at 20, that's awesome. If you're at 10, you've got time to kind of do more. If you're at 30, that's awesome. Keep going. There's not like 30 isn't the max that you can get in front of. That 30 to 40 for those of you that want to build this business really not only to district manager, but onto area and VP. That's just really the amount of people that we need to be getting in front of every month, sharing the products, sharing the business in its entirety. And so, one thing that I always love is that you can always change it no matter where you are. I had a really good conversation with a VP last night, and she's just in a place of her business where she's got to kind of refocus, and she's got to get back to getting to those 30 to 40 faces, which is exactly what took her to the VP spot in the first place. And I just told her, I'm like, it's a new day. There's newness to every day, and you can always choose to do different. So what I'm going to challenge you guys is to really just evaluate and look at how many faces you're getting in front of, how many people have heard the Arbonne story, because you guys, this isn't a business about I'm trying. This is a business of either you do or you don't do. It's not a business of I'm trying, I'm doing things. It's I'm either doing it or I'm not doing it. And yes, there's aspects of the trying, but whenever people aren't seeing the forward momentum in their business, the forward growth of their business, it always comes back to these numbers done over a consistent set of time. So you might have a month where you're getting in front of 30 to 40 people and you don't necessarily see the results, but we don't get to build the business 1 month at a time. You build it 30 to 40 faces 1 month, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. And here's the thing. I loved what Christina Weir said. She was the ENVP, guest ENVP last week. She just said, You can't beat the math, and the math can't beat you. So if you're a consultant wanting to grow to district, or your district wanting to grow to bonusing district, or your district wanting to grow to area or an area and beyond, you can't only be getting in front of 10 to 15 people in a month and then wonder why you're not growing, why you're not being successful, why you're not having the sponsoring, okay? But at the same time, you'll never find yourself in a place of getting in front of 30 to 40 people 3 months in a row and being like, the results just aren't coming in. That really just won't happen. The math can't beat you, okay? So take comfort in that, but also you can't beat the math. You can't grow this business without doing what's required. That's just like anything. You know, we can't be successful in 30 days to healthy living if we're not willing to cut out the sugar. We can't be successful in our jobs if we're unwilling to show up for our shifts. We can't run a marathon if we're unwilling to train. It's no different. This business doesn't give rewards without the consistent effort put in. And this consistent effort is doable on a part-time schedule, okay? So I just really felt like we kind of needed to have a little bit of like a checkpoint on that spot. And what I want you guys to think about is you can look at, okay, how many have I got in front of so far this month? And here's the thing with these numbers, you guys, there's no shame and there's no stories. So don't make up stories about why you have or haven't gotten in front of these people. And typically we make up stories of why we haven't gotten in front of X amount of people, but also there's no shame in how many people you've gotten in front of. It's just a number, okay? So don't have shame, but don't have stories about it either. And all now you need to do on Sunday night is you need to decide between now and next Sunday, how many people are you going to tell the Arbonne story to? And if you aren't pacing at the rate that you want to, so if you're wanting to get in front of 40 people a month, you need to be getting in front of 10 people a week. If you're wanting to get in front of 30 people a month, you need to be getting in front of 8 people a week, right? It's just numbers, it's just math. So if you're like, okay, I've only gotten in front of 8 people so far, shoot, it's the 18th. You know what? It's fine. Just, it's the past. We don't build our business looking in the rearview mirror, but decide this week, no matter what, if your goal is 8 people, then you go find 8 people to get this business and these products in front of, whether that's coffee appointments, whether that's Zooms, whether that's plugging them into the Facebook Lives, whether that's having a last minute party, whether it's executing a party you have on your schedule. You know, we have to plan and we have to be purposeful in the doing of this business, okay? So decide for this week, I'm gonna ask you guys right now to think about what's the number of people that you're gonna commit to this week sharing the products in the business. And you can go above 8, you can go above 10, you can get in front of 15, you can get in front of 20. Time is an illusion in this business. And I want you guys to understand that you're not restricted to any level of time in this business, as far as if you want to do 30 or 40 faces consistently over the next 6 months, from where you are, you can be a VP with this company. That's just the math. That is absolutely the math of this business, okay? If you decide, I really want to be a VP in the next 4 months, then what you do is you go out and you get in front of 40 to 60 faces. And you might feel like that sounds like a crazy amount of people to get in front of. And for some people that will feel crazy, but for other people, they just kind of want to rip that Band-Aid off and just get there and plow through it. And so you just get to decide if you're like, I don't want to do either of those options. I kind of want to just, you know, have a little bit of a slower pace. You can do that too. You always get to decide what you do with this business. Okay. So you need to think about, look back, how many faces have you got in front of? And now you get to decide how many faces are you going to get in front of between now and the end of this week, okay, this next coming week. The second thing that I want you to look at is how many signups do you have so far? And how many signups you have so far is typically going to be tied to how many people you've gotten in front of. Not always, but it's going to start to, you're going to see some correlations over time. Again, if you've got an awesome amount of signups this month, that's awesome. Celebrate it. And then just know, okay, if I've done that many so far, I can probably do twice that amount between now and the end of the month, because everything speeds up as we move from now to the end of the month. So if you haven't had any signups so far this month, it's no problem. But now you got to decide that I've got 12 days left in this month and I have got to get my 5 signups, because a good, healthy business is growing when you have somewhere between, I would say 4 to 5 preferred client signups in a month and 1 to 3 consultants every month. If you've committed to the frenzy of the 12-week frenzy, then you've committed to finding 1 to 3 new consultants in a month. You've committed to finding 5 new preferred clients this month. And here's the thing, you guys, when the why is clear and when the why is strong enough and you're passionate and you're connected enough to it, the how will figure itself out. Okay, so you have to really, one thing that we're going to just start talking a lot more about as we move forward in this year is our whys. Why are we doing this business? Why are you doing this business? And what do you want this business to be giving you? Because if you don't know those two things, you'll get hung up on the how, you'll get hung up on the things that really aren't important, and you'll also not move past discomfort. You won't start to sacrifice in the way that might be required. You won't be willing to get uncomfortable. You won't push past fatigue or inconvenience. But when the why is clear and the what you want is strong, the how starts to take care of itself. And we have a lot of hows that we can do this business. We can do it in groups. We can do it in coffee appointments. We can do it in a makeup consultation. We can do it in a one-on-one skincare appointment. We can do it over Zoom. We can plug people into Facebook Lives. We can send people text messages and Facebook messages asking if they want to be mailed a VIP fit kit. Like, there's an unlimited, you could stand at a booth at, a holiday function. There's just an unlimited amount of hows to this business. We've put those in place for you with the system, but you have to really drill down to why. Why am I doing this? Why do I want to put in the time? Why do I want to make it a sacrifice? Why do I want to make it a priority? And you get really drilled down, because if it's vague, like, I just want more money, I just want more choices, there's nothing connecting you to that emotionally. So you have to, when you say, I want to become a district manager, what does becoming a district manager mean to you? What will it mean for you? What will it mean for your budget? What will it mean for your choices? What will it mean for your time? What will it mean for your family? What will it mean for your future, for your lifestyle, for your debt? Like, think about all of those things. What will a consistent $300 to $1,000 a month do for you? And if you can't answer that, then you need to spend some time thinking about what would I do with a $600 paycheck? What would be different every month if I got a $600 paycheck? And then if you are a district manager, then you need to start looking at, well, what's a $1,200 to $3,000 paycheck going to do for us or for me? What will be different? What choices will I have? How will I feel? How will I spend that money? How will I spend the time because I have that money? And you have to really get connected to why you're doing this business. And until you grow it to I believe, kind of a large VP business, a large VP business is really when it can start to become really missional, and you're thinking about a lot of other people or causes or things like that. But at the beginning, and I like that she talks about that in this book that we're gonna talk about for a minute tonight. It starts with you. What do you want out of this business? Because you're the driver, and you've got to connect up what you want and why you want it, so that you're willing to go get in front of those 30 to 40 faces no matter what. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you're on the phone tonight or you're on this call tonight and you're like, I don't really want to get in front of 30 to 40 faces, that's totally okay. There's a place for you, and we want you in this team. I want you on these calls. I want you plugging in and taking advantage as much as you want. But I also, in integrity and leadership, need to tell you, you're not going to promote to the next level. And if you do promote there, you won't stay there, and you certainly won't promote further than that if you're unwilling to do the work. I can't tell people that they can be successful and not run the recipe. It's like telling somebody, you can make awesome bread, but you only have to put half the ingredients in. We all know that that's ridiculous and that will never happen. It won't create awesome bread. So we can't tell people you're going to build a successful district, you're going to build a successful area, and you only have to put in half the ingredients. It doesn't work that way. Okay. So drilling down to that why and really understanding that so that that can motivate you to push past fears, fatigue, nervousness, any of those things that are holding you back, and also raise your energy so that you're attracting people into this business. Okay. And one of the things that, if you're really committed to growing your business this year, is you just have to track these numbers. Because if you come to me and you're like, Missy, okay, for 2 months, I've gotten in front of 35 people every month. I've gotten in front of 70 people, and I don't have any new business partners, and I've only found 5 people to get preferred client accounts. Then what we can do is we can start to drill down on some skills. There's some closing skills that are, that are needing to be developed or honed, or there's just some other things there. But oftentimes when people aren't seeing the results that they're wanting in their QV, in their team, in the sponsoring, it's just because they're not getting in front of enough people. And they're not getting in front of enough people consistently. Okay. And so that's what we do in this business. We expose people to our business. We are paid for the access that we give Arbonne to people. So if you want a bigger Arbonne business, if you want a bigger paycheck, you give Arbonne access to more people. And you teach more people how to give more people access. Cecilia Stoll is the #1 income earner in Arbonne because she, out of anybody else in Arbonne, has given Arbonne the most access to the most people. That's why she is where she is. Okay. So that's why I love this business. You just really get to decide what you want to do with it. But I'm going to tell you guys, this is really going to be an incredible year for those of us that want to build an incredible year. We are committed as a team to promoting 6 VPs. So who is it going to be? Put your stake in the ground and just go and do the work that's required in order to make that happen. And you can be there by this fall, by this summer, by the end of this year. I have no doubts about that, because that was exactly my journey, and I didn't have what you all have. Okay, I just didn't. You have a better system, you have better products, you have a better duplication process than I did. So just plug into it and work from that place of purpose and that why. So a couple announcements that I want to give you guys is tomorrow night is we have our next Facebook Live. So this is the one that's geared towards the business. Okay. So Christina Vieira, she is a regional vice president out of Titusville, Florida. She is a college student. She's like a later in life college student. She is a single mom to a 16-year-old son. She is an Arbonne consultant, and I believe she's also a substitute teacher, all at the same time. And she's going to be telling her story, and she's got a great story to tell. She's a dear friend of mine. I love her to pieces. And so for those of you that are a part of the frenzy, or those of you that maybe didn't commit to the frenzy, but you're really wanting to grow your business, is you want to find 5 people who are going to agree to say yes to that. And right now, if you're like, I don't have anybody who's saying that has said yes to watching, that, it's totally fine. You've got time, but you have to make it a priority either tonight and bust out some messages, or you need to start getting on it in the morning. PCs are a great place to start. Past hosts, people that have used the product, people that you've done, maybe an overview with, but they haven't said yes. People need multiple exposures. It doesn't have to be their first exposure. You don't have to think about someone who's never heard of Arbonne before. But if they're not yet a business partner running the system in your business, they're a candidate to hear the Discover Arbonne again. And what I love about bringing in all of these different VPs and them sharing their story is that they're going to connect up with people in a way maybe that you didn't connect up with people, or they're just going to simply validate and affirm everything that you've already shared with people. Okay, so there's great purpose in that. The second thing is know that there's new products, right? We've got a new body cream I actually haven't looked into the details of it. The neck cream has been reformulated and it's in a tube instead of the jar. We also have the RE9 hydrating mask, which is a favorite of mine. Like this time of year, all of your clients should be getting a customer courtesy call from you or a text or an email saying, this mask is amazing. They have 45 days to return it if they want. They will not return it because they will use it, and in the morning they will wake up and their skin will be more hydrated and softer than it's ever been. And if you're not currently using the mask, you need to get the mask so that you can be telling people about your experience with the mask. Okay, it's really amazing. But why is that important for us to be capitalizing on these new products? It's something that Lisa Voorhees has taught for years and years and years, is new news. You always want to be reaching out to people with new news, okay? One of the strategies that Arbonne is implementing for 2018 is that they are going to be rolling out new products probably every 4 to 6 weeks. Instead of just clumping and saving all of our new products for GTC in April and then the holiday line in September, they're going to be sprinkling new products throughout the year, because it's like any business. Like I have a boutique owner that I'm in process with, and she's like, you just always have to have new merchandise. She's like, I've always got to have new shirts. I've got to have new bags. I've got to have new jewelry, because that's what drives consumption. That's what drives attention to people, is new news, new product, new exposure. So you reach out. If you have a Facebook group that you're plugging all your PCs into, we have a large team one that you can plug them into. It's one of the tagged groups on the top of the Facebook team page. If you have your own, you can certainly do that. Letting people know these are 3 brand new products that are out. I would love for you to check them out. They've got a 45-day money back guarantee, or you purchase them and then you start doing some drops with them, right? Or you're calling everybody and letting them know they've got PC rewards. Don't wait until February 27th and try to scramble through, oh my gosh, hey, you've got, $10 off or free shipping or a free gift with your next 150 order, and not giving people enough time. Be doing that now, because that's just extra volume, you guys, into your business. It's commission volume. You're making 15% on all of those orders. So if you want to beef up your paycheck, you beef up your PC sales. That's a really brilliant way to do that. And you can be making a $400, $500, $600 paycheck as a consultant before you even ever get to the district manager level. So be reaching out to all your PCs with those rewards. The last update that I want to, or kind of announcement I want to get to before we talk about the book for a few minutes, is I want to make sure you guys know about this. So this is an area manager retreat that everybody who will be an area manager or a VP, new or current, by October 1 is going to be able to attend. Okay, this is from Lisa Voorhees' Success Line Down. So it's going to include Lisa Voorhees, Central Nation. It's going to include Deanna Osborne's Central Nation, and whatever VPs want to participate. So they're looking at, I think, the first weekend in November, but they haven't firmed that up yet. It's going to be cabins in Gatlinburg. If you promote to area or VP, so a new area or a new VP, by October 1st, your retreat will be paid for. Like it says, they're all existing area managers and vice presidents are all welcome to attend, but if you're not brand new at one of those levels, then you'll incur the cost of the retreat, which I would encourage everybody to pay that and come if they don't promote. But here's the thing, I have high belief for this year, so I believe that everybody will be promoted to that next level by that point. So it's definitely something that you want to just be, print it off, put it on your screensaver, because here's the thing, there's markers here that we're putting in place to really just keep dangling carrots. We've got the white party at GTC. And here's the thing, you guys, it is not too late to get into qualification for district manager this month. I don't care where you are in your business. You could be at a 0 right now, because I have seen people who are not yet a consultant and in 12 days be at 10,000 in sales, because they sponsor, they cast the vision, they get people set up with their tools, and that's brand new. If you're not brand new, you've got team to go back to, you've got PCs to go, scoop in orders from, and you've got new people that you can go sponsor between now and the end of the month. It's a belief. It's a place of belief. One of the consultants on the team and I were talking about, when we're going into an appointment, when we're at a party, when we're closing a sale, what do we believe? Do we believe that the ASVP, the skincare and nutrition, them getting both of them is the best deal? And if we don't believe that, we won't be selling those, right? If we are like, oh, I know it's a lot of money, I just can imagine dropping $600 on two skincare and a nutrition set, and that just seems so crazy. If that's your belief, you're never going to sell two of them or both of them. But if you have that belief of understanding that we are the #1 prestige, company for clean, living healthy inside and out, and I know I just kind of butchered that, but you're going to know that people need the nutrition and they need the skincare. Nothing gives you great skin like the nutrition, and nothing gives you great skin like the skincare complementing at the same time. Nothing's going to help people feel better like the nutrition. Nothing's going to give people the skin that they want like the skincare. So you put it together, okay? And it's whatever that belief is, that's what you operate out of. It's the same thing with this area manager retreat. If you believe and you commit to doing the how, the whatever it takes, the no matter what, this business is going to be treated like a business. It's going to return to me like a business, and I'm going to prioritize it like a business. You will get there. If you don't believe that you'll get there, or if you don't put those protocols in place to prioritize it and treat it like a business, I'm just going to tell you in love, it's not going to get there for you. It isn't this kind of magical, mystical thing of like, oh, some people just start their Arbonne business and somehow magically promote. Nobody has promoted an Arbonne without being able to tell you how they got there. And how they get there is they're just sharing the products and the business consistently to enough people. Okay, so that's where it eliminates that I'm trying, I can't get it up and running, You just decide I either am or I am not going to get in front of enough people that's required. And whatever people decide, we're going to love them where they at. But I want people to see this business for what it is. I want them to see this gift for what it is. Okay, so that's some of the kind of updates that I wanted to give you guys, really just helping you drill down into that why, because the why is what's going to fuel your how as you go out and you build this business. So I just want you guys to, I know it's 9:30 and it's a Sunday night and you're probably like, wow, she's like really pepped up and I'm really tired. I just want you guys to have full belief, like there is a stirring in me about what I believe is going to happen in this team this year because of what I believe you all have the capacity to do. It's not because I'm going to become this super awesome leader that's going to go and, promote all of these VPs. Is that it's not that. It's what's going to happen is you all are going to start to see yourselves as the NVPs that you are. You're going to operate at this level of belief and energy, conviction, just this knowing that that this is your time to build this business. You're prioritizing it in a way, you're working consistently, you're attracting dynamic, driven, motivated people who see this for what it is, and that's what's going to be unfolding this year. I'm very confident of that, not because I know the how. I don't know really how we're going to promote 6 VPs, but I know that that's the vision that's been given to us. And I know that the vision, the why, the goal always precedes the how. So my job is to raise your all's expectation, to raise your all's belief, to raise your all's capacity to see yourself beyond where you see yourself right now, and to help you see yourself beyond where you are right now in the next 90 days, in the next 120 days, by September, and then by the end of the year, to just continue to stretch for that next place, because here's the thing, you guys, if you're going for maintenance, you're never going to do more than maintenance. If you're going just to kind of like not lose something, you're not going to be growing. And I can tell you that from experience. When I have had seasons and when I've had seasons in my business that I'm more concerned about not losing something versus growing to the next level, things move backwards. It's just a principle, because what we focus on expands. So we need to focus on the next, even if the next feels way out there. Like if you're not yet a district manager, your goal is 6,000 this month to wrap up district manager promotion in 1 month. We're not going for 1,000. We're not going for 2,000. We're lifting that lid and that level of belief to know that 6,000 is possible in 1 month. And if it's been done before, if the proof is there, then it can be done for you. You can go do it. And here's the thing, if you fall short, you're a lot closer than you would be if you only set 2,500 as your goal for the month. Okay, so you really, if you're wanting to become, an area manager, a bonusing area, regional, RVP qual, you got to stretch that belief. And it's, again, the how. You don't have to have an answer for all the how, because here's the thing, you all, you might meet somebody Thursday of this week in line at Panera that could radically change your business. And you don't yet even know that she or he is out there. So you don't always have the plan of the how I'm going to get to where I want to get to. And the where I want to get to seems so far past where I am right now. But what you do is you focus on where I'm going, you hold the belief, you trust the process, and then you follow it up with a whole lot of hustling. That's what you do. Okay, that's what we do. So I'm going to transition into the book. I thought the book was good. I did read these chapters a couple weeks ago because this is what I thought we were going to talk about the night of Super Bowl. And then we had the Super Bowl. So, we obviously didn't have our call that night. But there's some couple key things that she talks about in these 2 chapters. But before I share some of my takeaways, did any of you all have any takeaways from chapter 5 or 6 that you wanted to talk about? Chapter 5 is how I talked my way to 7 figures and how you can too. And chapter 6, let me flip, is she's interested, now what? Does anybody have any things that they underlined or things that stuck out to them, whether they read it or listened to it in Audible?
Hey, Missy, I'll just comment on rule number 2. I love that one because it's don't be on the hunt. And it reminded me of the video that Carlita Nelson did on the hunting versus fishing, which is one of my favorite ones. And I think she just kind of how people feel like they're hunted if you work from that desperate place versus just looking for people to help. That was a good mind shift for me. Just listening for people's problems and then really just naturally relationship building, versus oh my gosh, I got to do this. I want to do this. Right. Because it feels different and then it comes across different. So I love that she touches on that too. Cause I've listened to the Carlita Nelson recording at least 20 times. So,
is it like a YouTube one or is it a SoundCloud?
Yeah. It's a YouTube video that I came across where she was covering chapter 5 actually in GoPro book. And she talks for almost an hour and she literally says, I'm barely going to talk about this book at all. And she just goes into this awesome training. It's really good. I can share that.
Post that on the Facebook team page. That would be wonderful. I don't think I've seen that.
Yep. It's a really good one.
That's awesome. Does anybody else have anything on either that point or any of the other rules that she shared or she's interested now? What part? One of the things I really liked, Lori, or that made me think about the we don't hunt, is even just watching our words, even when we're not with people. But I've had conversations with lots of consultants on my team, on other people's team, and they're like, oh, I just want to get them. I just want to get them. I want to get them on my team. And there's just that point of yes, we do want certain people to say yes to this business and to see it for what it is, but even just kind of changing that verbiage a little bit, even for ourselves, and just saying like, man, I'm excited for them to see this. Like
Yeah.
I'm excited for them to see it versus I just want to get them into my business.
Right.
And because even that I want to get them into my business feels more of like a hunting thought process versus I just really hope they see this. I want them to catch and connect up how this could be a fit for them because they're so amazing, they're so dynamic, you know, all of those different things.
Or you just really would like to spend more time with them. Like
Absolutely.
it gets really exciting when you see someone you would love to work with on a daily basis, and you can do that in that capacity. So yeah, I get that feeling sometimes. I'm like, oh, I just want her on my team. I don't care if she does anything. I just want her on my team.
Edie and I did a party last night. There was a gal that came and she was just like wonderful and articulate and personable, you know, and I just shared with her at the end, and I just want you to know, like, we don't say this to everybody. Like, we don't run around to every Arbonne party, like flattering people. Like, she just really was this wonderful, articulate person. So some of the things that stuck out in the rules where I loved on rule number 1, don't let the maybes give you false hope because it slows us down. Okay. So until they're in the system, they're not in the system, you all. Until they're booking activity, they're not a business partner. And I'm going to tell you all, I have 3 people that I thought I was launching last month. They are still not in the computer. They are still not having launch parties. And I was really confident they were all signing up last month. And it's the 18th of February, and not one of them has an ID number with Arbonne. So it's that point. I'm not waiting for them, but it's just such a real thing that we kind of get too excited about the maybes. We get too hopeful about she's going to sign up this weekend. She's going to sign up next week. She's going to sign up when the taxes come, you know, the tax return comes in, and we just wait on the maybe instead of like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome, next. And I'm going to give you guys just a kind of a word of encouragement too, is that the best thing that you can do for your business is to sponsor someone new and then go sponsor somebody new. When I have sponsored somebody new and I get them their tools and we're getting their launch dates, my first thought is not, totally can't wait to get them signed up, can't wait to get them started. Like, I'm not thinking that. My first thought is, I need my next. Because I need my next, because my next, there's no guarantee that she's going to do anything. And my next is going to continue to create the energy that I'm not waiting for her, and that there's not all this pressure on her to go do something because she has all my time and attention. So what I really purpose to do every time I sponsor a consultant into the business, my very next thought is, who's going to be next? Because it really does benefit that first consultant you sign up, because there's like a camaraderie, and then there's there's not a pressure for them, because they're like, oh, Missy's going to like keep, oh, cool. Like, you know, and it becomes more of this, Missy's going to partner with people, but Missy's not waiting for me to go perform in her business. And I hope I don't disappoint her. And I hope I'm being fast enough, you know, all of those things. Like, that has really eliminated people being like, I'm so sorry, I'm not doing more, I'm not doing faster. Because it's like, oh my gosh, girls, no problem. Like, I didn't forget about you, but it's okay because I've got this other person that's going. And as soon as this girl signs up, we got another one that's coming. So I think that that's a really good thing. I loved rule number 3 as well. Just that less is more, you know, rule 4, they're all really good. I love in rule 5 where she just talks about unbridled enthusiasm can go a long way, which is one of the reasons why you want to talk live with people instead of hiding behind texts, emails, or direct messages. And I understand that we live in a day and an age where text messages are very easy. But one of the things that I have found that kind of overrides that inability to connect up with people on the phone is sending voice texts, because people can hear my excitement, they can hear my conviction, they can hear my commitment, especially when I'm asking for like a party or asking for a 20-minute overview. Doing that with a voice text it can be really effective in that way. So lots of good rules that she has here. Great reminder in rule number 8 of work from appointment to appointment. If you didn't listen to Lisa's skills call on Saturday morning, I'd really encourage you to listen to the recording of that. But that's one thing she absolutely talks about, is that, we work from an appointment to the next appointment. So we're not wondering like, gosh, should I follow up with them? Has it been enough time? Like, we just have that next appointment, and being professional is never pushy. I love that. And she just helps to connect up some of the pain, some of the no pain, and really just helping people connect the dots on this business. So she has a good get in action section on page 84 of the book, where she just said, now it's your turn. Take out a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle to make 2 columns. On the left-hand column, write pain. On the right, write no pain. Think of the next person you want to reach out to. List all the possible pain points in her life and how your business could provide relief. From there, you'll be able to craft your opening talk points for your conversation. Do this exercise every time before you reach out to somebody, and you'll be leading with what she calls that what's in it for them. And so if you ever find yourself in a place, I think this is a good activity. If you ever find yourself in a place where you're like, gosh, I really want to talk to this girl, or this guy, but I'm not sure like what my lead-in is going to be, or like what my thing is going to be, think about, can you identify any points of pain for them? Finances, time, job, family, choices, travel, any of those things. And then you can really connect this up to them. She talks about the referrals, which is super important. And and then she just talks about transitioning them to being a customer if the business isn't a fit for them. Transition questions that works for you and your products, and ask it every single time. So really leading into getting them to be a preferred client if they're not a consultant. And I think that that's an area we probably could all do well to hone that skill a little bit. Like when we're doing the 20-minute overviews with people, it's like, if you've had 10 overviews and, if they're not a consultant, then really we want to be getting them to be preferred clients. So, and then on the last chapter, chapter 6, she just talks about, now that they're interested, keeping it simple, giving them those getting started steps, giving them those things, just to really start to, you don't want to overwhelm people too much. Our getting started steps on our website have all of that. And then she really just validates the 3-way calls, which we do. And I love that because, we're doing the right things. I don't ever have a question really of if we're doing the right things. It's more just making sure we're doing enough of the right things consistently over time. So does anybody have any comments or questions either on the book tonight or anything that I shared in regards to the why, the faces, the tracking? We covered the Discover Arbonne for tomorrow night, new products, and area retreat. Is there anything anybody has questions or comments on any of those, or anything else that they want to touch on tonight? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, awesome. All right, well, I just, sometimes I'm like, I wish I could like transport all of the feelings that I have and all the excitement that I have for all of you all, and just the vision that I see for you guys. Like, there is just an unshakableness in my vision of you all getting keys to your Mercedes and growing amazing teams and having choices by the end of this year that you didn't know that you could have, and really influencing and impacting people in a way that you never really saw before for yourself. So I just love you all, praying for you as always, and I hope that this was helpful tonight, and we'll be kind of continuing through this book. I'm hoping to wrap this up by the end before GTC, but I will tell you guys, just as a little sneak peek, I am reaching out to a whole lot of MVPs and just asking them to come and share, and I have got some awesome people lined up. Like, I'm just always floored when I'm sending a little message like, hey, I've been following you on Facebook for years, or I know you don't know me, and they're always like, I'd be happy to do it. I'm like, So there's some really exciting people that are going to be coming on and sharing with us in the next couple weeks. So I'm totally pumped for that. So, all right. Love you all. Y'all have a good night and have a great week. And we'll be touching base very quickly. Cancel